to run through a wall.
We're going to run some clock. Or maybe
This team is destined. There was a specific reason why I told all of you after the Washington win and after the Raiders win that I was still not bought back into this football team. There was a specific reason. Number one was the offensive worries, the struggles, the inconsistencies, the way we can't put a full game together, a full offensive game plan, and execute. The way we seriously cannot do anything right offensively. A great first half, a horrible second half. So many issues. So there's a lot of things to be angry about when it comes to this game. I'm very happy with the win, and I think everybody should be happy with the win. But to me, there is a lot of issues and a lot of things that need to be fixed as soon as possible. As soon as possible. And I think that there needs to be a real conversation coming up this week about, well, do you start the starters for the offense specifically, more than first quarter or something like that. So we're going to get into that later into the week. There's a lot of issues. So what's going on, everybody? You're listening to Broad Street Sports Eagles post-game show. We are not in the studio today. We are out somewhere. We're not in studio. So that's why there was some difficulties with the audio and stuff earlier on in the previous show where I had to restart. It just bothers me, because we were on a good roll. We were doing some good things. But, you see, the Eagles played a bad game, so now my show has to go bad. See how that works? See how it works? The Eagles play horrible. My show's got to start horrible. It's just so bad. 215-839-8246. That's the number to get in. I want to hear your thoughts on this game because this offense has some serious issues still. I don't want to hear it. This defense basically, to me, pitched a shutout. They had a great game, another great game against Buffalo, and it is impeccable because I've already seen it online a good majority that people out there are saying, well, the defense really did not play that well in the second half, which they didn't. But how do you expect this Eagles defense to play well when they're on the field 95% of the second half, playing the whole game in this like sleet, rain, bad conditions because your offense isn't out there putting up yards, draining the clock, doing anything sufficient. So to me, there is a lot of things that you have to look at when it comes to this game. And I think number one, of course, is the defense as usual, because again, today they play outstanding and they play outstanding football. Bottom line, outstanding football. And to me, Cooper DeJean is a player of the game. Player of the game. Him, Zach Bourne. How about Jalen Carter first game back in there, getting that big sack? Oh, Jomo. Jalix Hunt has been great this season as well. So, I just look at this defense in totality, and I say, and I've been saying this all year long, if there is one facet of this football team that I am fully on board, I fully trust, I have a full belief in that they're going to do the job and they're going to do it the right way, it is this defense. It's the defense, and it has always been the defense. Another day, dude, they had a shutout going through what, through midway point of the fourth? Through the midway point of the fourth quarter. They had, it was great. I mean, it was just so great to watch. And that's what we've been seeing all year. So I'm honored, and I'm so proud of this defense because when they started the year, they were good. They were not this good, though. They were good, not this good, and they have done a great job. And I think Vic Fangio's done a wonderful job. So perfect with this defense. I don't want to spend a lot of time with this defense, but I don't want to hear people out there in the comments or anywhere else calling in saying, oh, well, your defense played piss poor down the stretch. No. They did, but they didn't play piss poor because they're bad. They played piss poor because this offense didn't give them an opportunity to catch their breath. I mean, when you're on the field playing 95% of the snaps in the second half because your offense isn't draining any clock, they're not getting yards, they're not putting up points, they're not helping you out, how are you supposed to play? How are you supposed to play good football down the stretch against the Bills who had all the momentum? And by the way, 17 total yards in the second half and 1 first down. Not a single pass completed is not good enough for a team that is supposed to win a championship. Bottom line, 215-839-8246. That's the number to get in. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to my buddy Zach in South Jersey. What's going on, Alex?
How are you, Broad? How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm a little tweaked out. You know, when I started the show earlier, the first show, audio wasn't working. I'm tweaked out about that, but we got the show working now, so it's good to talk to you.
Yeah, I got a few things to say about this offense. Saying they're trash might be an understatement. They are pitiful. It hurts watching our offense out there. I've never heard of a quarterback. And, you know, you got to give Jalen credit where credit's due. And I give him credit. He was good the first half, but that second half was terrible. I've never seen a quarterback in the same season not complete a pass 2 different times in the second half. He didn't complete one against Tampa Bay or today. It's terrible.
No, I know, and it's crazy to me. How does that happen? How does that happen? And it's just so pathetic. It really is. But there is... To me, I still think that there's a lot of issues on this team outside of Jalen Hurts. I think, one of them being the run game, which has still not been good enough. Offensive line with the run blocking has not been good enough. So, I think there's a lot of issues. But the fact that you had 17 total yards in the second half, you had 1 first down, and you could not complete a pass in the second half is just ridiculous. That is flat out embarrassing. So, I said this before you called in, I don't want to hear people out there saying, oh, well, your defense folded late in the game. They folded late in the game because your offense gave them no hope. Your offense gave them no help. That's a problem. That's a serious issue.
I don't think we got, any good going drives going that second half. I don't remember getting three or four first downs in like a drive. I don't remember it. I remember we'll get 1 or 2 first downs, and then we'll go, right out.
Well,
3 and out. Eventually, your defense is going to wear down, no matter how good they're playing, and we saw it today.
Yeah, well, what bothered me really was when, so obviously our defense played great, and our offense in the first half played wonderful, which is great. But in the second half, they were bad. And here's what I've noticed, and I want to know if you noticed this too. But this offense kind of started to play not to lose in a way. Like they weren't trying to put up points. They weren't trying to do anything sustainable. They weren't trying to really blow this game wide open. They were just doing enough. To win, to squeak by. And in a game versus the Bills, who are a very good team, and in total, you can't play like that. You can't play just to not lose. That doesn't work. That's not sustainable. And you saw in the second half, they shot themselves in the foot 3,000 times. 3,000 times, man. And it's just so bad. It's so bad to watch.
Yeah, it's bad. And I thought the Bills coaching wasn't much better. I mean, what are they doing running it when they're down, 5 minutes left? That obviously helped out the Eagles, but bad coaching on both sides, bad quarterback play on both sides for the most part. It was an ugly game out there. But, weather had a factor, but that's still not an excuse. You saw Josh Allen completing passes out there at that second half.
No, I agree with you. And Alex, thank you for the phone call. I greatly appreciate it. No, I think I agree with that. I mean, Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts did not play they both did not play good football games. I mean, that is a bottom line answer. That's bottom line, man. And that bothers me, right? Like there's still some serious issues on this football team. Serious issues. So, and going back to Alex's point here, I think he brought up a very good point. Which was, Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts did not play good games both themselves, but they also, Josh Allen made passes when he had to. Josh Allen charged down the field when he had to. Josh Allen did what his team asked him to do. And here's another thing, and we're going to talk about Patullo, I'm sure, all week. But you're passing the football versus one of the best passing defenses in the league, and you couldn't run the football versus a team that can't stop the run. And so, it's just ridiculous. There's so many issues on this football team, a lot, and it really bothers me because this team had Super Bowl aspirations. Maybe they still do. I don't see that happening at this point. I really don't. And I told Oli, there was a specific reason why I was not bought into this football team after they beat the Raiders, after they beat Washington. There's a specific reason why, and this offense, the inconsistencies, Kevin Patullo not being able to run the football consistent. Something has to give, and it has to give fast because you're going to run into a brick wall in the postseason. Let's go back to the phones. Lambeau, South Jersey, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, Rod? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you, too. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, bro.
I just want to say that, again, another masterclass by the defense.
Yeah.
Seriously, bailed us out again. I can't believe it. It's ridiculous, right?
No, I mean they're perfect. They're perfect.
We're watching the same football team, right?
No, I mean
this is crazy.
The defense is perfect, and I think that is the reason why they are where they are. Your defense is outstanding week in, week out. They may be better than last year. I'm not sure. Right, but they are a great football team. They're great defensively, and it's outstanding to watch Zach Bourne making big plays, DeGene making big plays. How about Jalen Carter coming back, big sack one. So they've done what they've had to do, and you know what? If they collapse, their first round exits, if they're whatever the case is, none of this to me is on the defense. To me,
no.
When I look back at this season, I look at one bad game. I look at the one game where the defense played bad, which was versus the Bears. The Bears ran for 280 rushing yards. The Giants game early on.
Running backs having over 100 is ridiculous.
And the Giants game early on in the season, right? Like there were some issues there, but I mean, other than that, this defense is the reason why you have the wins you have. They're the reason why you're the third seed. I don't want to hear anything about Jalen Hurts. I don't want to hear anything about the offense. I don't. Your defense is the reason why you are where you are.
1,000%. And listen, they came to hit today. Everybody did.
Yeah.
They came to hit. There were some great. I couldn't believe the sacks and the tackles that I was seeing. It was incredible.
Yeah, no. Look, this defense brings intensity. They bring fire. They bring passion. They're ready to rock you, and that is what I want to see out of a defense. So they play great defensively. They're positioned well. They execute well, but they also hit. They make timely hits. They know when to go full in. They know how to do it all. And I give a lot of credit to Vic Fangio. But I think that we talk a lot about the defense week in and week out. And I think a lot of people, because of how good this defense has been, they forget how bad the offense plays. And today was another example. I mean, you had a 13-0 lead, and with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, you were pitching a shutout defensively, and your offense just gave you ugats. And again, that can't happen though, because you're playing in a bad weather game in Buffalo. Versus say you play the Rams, you play the Packers, you play the Bears, that can't happen.
Listen, man, I thought it was going to be like the Broncos game again.
Yeah.
But, I had faith in Vic Fangio. You know what I like about Vic Fangio? I feel like he's only good because he's not looking for a head coaching job like Patullo is, or like Kellen Moore or whoever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They weren't looking for head coaching jobs. So he's sticking with the team. He knows the team. You know what I mean?
No, I agree with you, and I'm fully on board. I've been on board of getting some older guys in here. Just like a veteran presence, like they've done it before. I think that would do benefits to this team, and to be able to not have a guy that leaves instantaneously to go and play, go coach someplace else. But Lambeau, thank you for the phone. I greatly appreciate it. So I think he brings up some valid points. And it's great. So this defense is wonderful. And your offense, again, is just piss poor, man. I don't know. I don't know what people expect anymore. How do you expect to win a Super Bowl? How do you expect to win a Super Bowl? How do you expect to go to the NFC Championship game? How do you expect to walk out of the link, or wherever you're going to play at the link? How do you expect to walk out of the link after the wild card game with a win? How do you expect it? I mean, after every single game that the Eagles play versus a good football team, versus a team that is good, they're going to be in the postseason. You may face somewhere later down the road in the postseason. You question the entire offense. You question Jalen. You question Patullo. You question Barkley. You question every facet of the game because of the fact that your offense can't beat anyone good. They just can't do it. They cannot do it. Let's go back to the phones. Luke in South Jersey, what's going on, pal?
How you doing, man? I think when you think of today, it really goes back to every time this season when we've had to play a solid team, it just seems the offense can't play up to par. I want to know if that's what you've seen.
No, I mean, I agree with you. And I think that, and I just said this before I answered your phone call, that, we question the offense. We question Jalen. We question Barkley. We question Patullo. We question everybody every single time the offense plays a good team. And why is
really
that?
Do.
We question them. And that's because they don't rise to the occasion. They can't put up points against a good defense. They can't put up points against a good offense. I mean, they can't do anything right. So, and tonight's game where you had all the momentum for about almost the entire football game, what happens then, right? So you have all the momentum, you have all the pressure, you have the lead, you have a 13-point lead, you come out of halftime. Why are you not trying to put up points? Why are you not trying to put them away? This team took their foot off the gas, and they started to play just not to lose, not to blow the lead, and that's not a way to play. Then in the postseason, you have to put up points when you can, when you have the opportunity. And plenty of times tonight, the Eagles had opportunities to put up points, put up touchdowns, put the Bills out of the water. And they didn't do it, and that to me is every single time this team plays a good team, there is questions regarding the offense.
No, I think you make really good points there. It really comes down to, can we execute in high pressure situations?
Yeah,
and are we playing not to lose, or are we playing aggressive to win? Like, I feel like right now I'm just watching this offense playing not to lose.
No, I agree with you, and that to me is an issue. That to me is one of this team's biggest issues, right? We can say whatever we want about this defense, and this defense has been outstanding. They've been wonderful basically this entire season. But down the stretch versus a good team, NFC Championship game, let's say you're facing Seattle. I don't know. Let's say you're facing Seattle. Do I expect this? And I know this defense is going to play great. But do I expect this offense to help this defense out? I don't think so. I honestly don't believe so. Yeah, exactly. I don't believe so, which is a serious issue. Really, this defense I know is going to play great if they face Seattle, they face Los Angeles, they face whoever. They're going to play great. But let's think about how this offense, they face a good defense like Seattle, they're not going to know how to do anything. And that's an issue.
And, my last point is, we really look at like a lot of these Eagles wins this year, and, maybe some teams, Washington, Raiders, but most of these teams, like good teams that we played, we haven't scored over like 25 points at all.
Yeah.
To beat any of these teams, maybe the Rams and Bucks. But that's about it. It's really been a struggle this year offensively.
No, that's an issue. And Luca, thank you for the phone call. I think Luca brings up a great point. I've been talking about this all year. Was that you're at the point now where. You can't score over 21 points consistently offensively. You don't put up points. You don't do any of that. So now your defense has to, play perfect. So this offense puts so much pressure on the defense, not only today, but every single game, because when you don't put up points, you can't drain the clock. You can't put pressure on the other team. That puts pressure on your defense to be perfect. And there's a lot of issues with that, and you saw that today. 215-839-8246. That's the number to get in. Taking more of your phone calls and comments here on the Eagles postgame show on Port Street Sports right after this quick commercial break. If you're in South Philly and hungry, you need to check out Steak 'em Up on 11th and Shunk. They've got it all. Breakfast sandwiches, breakfast pizza, hoagies, classic cheesesteaks, fresh pizzas, and more. Everything's made and packed with flavor any time of the day. Stop by for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and see why locals keep coming back for more. Steak 'em up, where South Philly comes to eat. Looking for a real Italian bite? Cafe Merlino at 6 Shoppers Lane in Turnersville, New Jersey has you covered. Fresh cutlet sandwiches, classic hoagies, and hearty pasta dishes, all made with care and the flavor you crave. Whether it's lunch or dinner or just a quick bite, every meal is packed with fresh ingredients and a bold taste. Stop by Cafe Merlino today and see why they're taking South Jersey and the Philly area by storm. Ride in style with Wagner Luxury Limo out of Swedesboro, New Jersey. Whether it's a ride to the game, an airport run, or a special night out, Wagner Luxury Limo gets you there safely and comfortably. Professional drivers, luxury vehicles, and a service you can count on. Book your ride today and arrive like a VIP. Visit online or call 856-481-8020. When it comes to tree work, Jason Pillar Tree Specialist in Galloway, New Jersey has you covered. From tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, they get the job done quickly, safely, and at a price you can trust. Keep your property looking at its best and protect your home with the pros at Jason Pillar Tree Specialist. Call today for your free estimate at 609-965-8003. That's 609-965-8003. And make sure you tell them Broad Street Sports sent you. Welcome back in, everybody. You are listening to the Eagles postgame show here on Broad Street Sports. Your home for the best Philly sports talk every day and unfiltered. Talking about the Eagles' 1-point victory over the Bills. 1-point victory. A lot of issues. Man, and that's the thing. A lot of issues, and we're going to get into more of that throughout this week because after watching this team now tonight, we've coming in, right? I watch a game at my buddy's house. I'm doing the show at my buddy's house, right? So I'm obviously not in studio, which is why the audio and everything, it's, I'm getting used to doing shows, not in studio. So that's why I messed up the first room. I had to do this, whatever. So I'm driving in and I'm thinking to myself, I really thought the offense, I wanted to be bought back into this football team so bad. Everybody after the past 2 weeks has been fully on board with the Super Bowl. No, that wasn't me. And I made myself clear every single post game that was not me. I was not bought into this football team until they beat the Bills. And they couldn't beat the Bills by 3 points or whatever it was. They had to actually beat the Bills. And after watching, and I coming in, driving to my buddy's house, I said, hey, you know what? They do that. They put up points. They look good offensively. I strongly believe we're back. Are we back? No. So and then after watching the first half, I said to myself, dude, we're back. We're back. Now after watching the second half, we're not back. And now I strongly believe we have to maybe there's a strong conversation for playing the starters, at least for the first quarter or 2 drives versus Washington. Let's go back to the phones. Luke in Haddon Township, what's going on, pal?
So, man, I just wanted to call in and kind of piggyback a little bit off what Lucas said earlier.
Okay. Yep.
And just how you see a lot of these games with the Eagles where they play good teams and it's extremely low scoring and the defense bails us out. Like the Packers, it was like 10-7. Lions at the time, they were good. It was, I think, 16-9. And it's promising with the defense, but I think it's just the main thing that I get from it is it's not sustainable for the playoffs if you want to keep winning like this.
And that, to me, is the biggest issue. So I know I'm going to get a lot of haters in the comments, maybe some callers, right? They're going to say the same thing. Why are you angry we won? And to me, this goes way larger than just the Bills, right? Like, this game really didn't mean anything. We played the Bills. They're not a division rival. They're not in our conference, right? Like, we basically have circled in on the 3 seed. Like this game did not matter. But what matters to me after watching that game was a team that could run the football at will. What mattered to me after watching that game was, can Jalen Hurts put the team on his back if needed? I didn't see that. Can Jalen Hurts make big-time throws? I didn't see that in the second half. So, to me, and I've been saying this all year when they beat the Rams with the blocked field goal, when they barely squeaked by after a big lead at halftime versus the Buccaneers, when they've done all that stuff and they've escaped with a win, I told everybody for weeks, A, a collapse is coming, and B, this is not a sustainable way of winning football. And I think more people are coming to the realization that you're not going to win. It's not sustainable to win a Super Bowl if you can't put up points. If you can't put up over 21 points in the postseason, how do you expect to win? When you put that much pressure on your defense to win, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? There's a serious issue there.
And I think the Eagles are going to have to get extremely lucky in the playoffs, where they would need the defense to play absolutely perfect if this keeps happening, which can happen because the defense is so great, and it's credit to them. But the offense needs to improve a lot if they want to make a postseason run.
No, and I agree with you, Luke. Thank you for the phone call. I appreciate it. No, I agree with that, and I think that is where it's at. I think everybody has quite literally the same message, and that is a win is a win, right? And I agree with that. I'm very happy with the win, no matter who it is and how it happens. But I think now, late in the season, because really this Bills game didn't matter. It didn't matter. It didn't matter to the stand. It didn't. But what matters to me is, can they fix this for the postseason? Can they do it right for the postseason? What can they do differently so that in the postseason, it's not the same conversations? And that is the biggest issue to me. That's the biggest issue. So, again, defense played outstanding. Offense just does enough to get by once again. But I think later this week, there's going to be some serious conversations about, what do you do with playing the starters, at least for a drive or a first quarter? And is this sustainable? Because not being able to put up over 21 points in the postseason, you're not going to win a game, and you're definitely not going to win a Super Bowl. That's the bottom line. That's the truth, and I speak the truth. Broad Street Sports is the truth. You won't put up, 13 points or 16 points or 10 points and let your defense have all that pressure. You won't do it. We're going to continue to break this down all week and look forward to the Washington game. Do we start some offensive starters? Try and get them in the groove. What do we do? Thank you guys all for tuning in to the Eagles post-game show here on Broad Street Sports. You're home for the best Philly sports talk every day and unfiltered. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. And, another win, another weird one. And all of them feel weird. They all feel weird. Win or lose, they feel weird. But thank you guys all. I greatly appreciate it. I'll see you all tomorrow. Has been absolutely insane. I'm ready to run through a wall.
We're going to run some clock, or maybe some.
This team is destined